僕らも同じようにやっぱスタイル的にはしっかりボールに逃げようと思ってるチームなので、川崎さんに負けないようにしっかりボールを保持してゲームを支配していきたいと思います。
ありがとうございました。
A chilly night here in Kawasaki, and chilling signs sent out by the home side to the rest of the league, hoping to take the crown of the champions. Kawasaki Frontale have started the year as if 2020 never left. 4 wins from 4 games, including the Super Cup triumph, 15 goals scored in those games, and a 5-1 win over the weekend against Rigalta Sunday, despite putting out a squad of second stringers. Despite all that they set last year, most points, most wins, least losses in a single season, Toro Niki's men are still hungry, and they also have continental football, the Asian Champions League to aim for, in what could be an amazing season for these fans, who certainly know the football and the way forward. Forza Kawasaki, football at its front foot, football at its very best, the best football played in Asia, and it has come in the stadium, and the Todoroki Stadium, in front of these fans, and they have seen it themselves. Today, Tokushima voters are sent to the slaughterhouse, also known as the Todoroki, where Kawasaki Frontale won 15 of their 17 games last year, and have started the year 2-2 already. Tokushima making just their second appearance in the top tier of Japanese football, and they'll hope that the 2021 experience will be a lot less bitter than the 2014 one, where they set some records of their own, all for the wrong reasons. The 16 goals scored that year, the lowest ever in a J-League season, in which they won only 3 games and accrued 14 points. Only Oita Trinita won less games in a single season, and only Yamada Hiratsuka had less points in a single season in the class of 2014 for Tokushima voters. Having said all that, you have to say that the 2-1 draws that have accrued so far against Oita Trinita and Vissel Kobe have given them that lift up that they needed to start the season, because those are very respectable draws indeed for this side. They were 3 minutes away from clinching their first win in J1 since the 23rd of August 2014, before conceding a late equalizer against Vissel Kobe in that match over the weekend. And what a weekend it was for Kawasaki Frontale all over again. Yeah, 5-1 against Rigalta Sendai Max, and they shut up shop in the first half, having scored 4 in a match. These two sides faced each other in 2014, in which Kawasaki Frontale won 4-0, both home and away. And, aside from that, their only other meeting was in an Empress Cup tie back in 2012, when Kawasaki Frontale needed extra time to see off Tokushima Fortis by 3-2. So, 2 of 8 unbeaten sides in the J-League in 2021 true bouts. The 2020 J1 champions and the 2020 J2 champions locking horns at the home of the 2020 First Division champs. Kawasaki Frontale, 3 wins out of 3. Tokushima Fortis, 2 draws out of 2. And the way that they've handled the football of Kawasaki players last year, it looks as if it was a magic wand on that football, which just sprinkled magical dust all over wherever they've gone in Japan. More of the same, perhaps, in what could be called a David versus Goliath mixture. It would send a big shock to the rest of the league if Tokushima Fortis pull off a victory here. They only failed to score twice at home last year in the J-League Kawasaki Frontale. Then again, it was against lonely sides when they lost to Katsudori Sapporo 2-0, when they drew in their opening match against Sagatos 0-0. Against the bigger opponents, we were just scoring goals for fun.
2011年3月11日に発生した東日本大震災から明日で10年の月日が経ちます。これより震災でお亡くなりになられた方々のご冥福をお祈りし、黙祷を行いたいと思います。皆様どうぞ りますようお願い申し上げます。黙祷。皆様ご着席ください。甲子園活動を続けてまいります。
So all set and ready to go then for match day number 3, at which Kawasaki Frontale, of course, it's their 4th match of the season, having played last Wednesday against Cerezo Osaka. As we said earlier on, only 5 players from that weekend victory against Vikalta Sendai started this game, including the 2 fullbacks, Hatate and Yamane. Tanaka and Charles Smith as well. Smith was taken out at half-time with a game already won against Vikalta, and the big hitters come back up front in Mitoma, Leandro Damiao, and of course Akihiro Inaga, who scored their opening 2 goals of the season against Yokohama Marinos on this ground. On the bench, Kobayashi, who got his season going, and a weekend victory against Vikalta by scoring his first brace of the season. Referee for this fixture is Hiroyuki Kimura. In fact, the referee
Oh, tita, pawala sa kalaay.
home game of last year in which they
Papawis din.
Santos, no one could have thought what was going to transpire after that, because they just rolled over every team. Tomohiro Inoue is in the VAR room, and he'll be assisted by Yuki Noda, picking up some red card offences and maybe penalty calls as well to legitimize some goals. Well, for Tokushima Vortis, it looks as if it's going to be 4 at the back. We feel that coming football to Hassan in goal. Takashi Abe has got a new defensive partner, Daisei Suzuki. In midfield, look out for that number 13, and Fujita. He's a precocious, prodigious talent, Nigerian descent. And up front, Yuki Kakita, of course, their top scorer last year, who was the 3rd highest scorer in the J-League. On the bench, they've also got their 2018 top scorer, Natsushi Kawata, the number 9, who used to play in the J-League for Alex Nagata. Only 3 of their players in the starting 11 have had J1 League experience playing in the top-tier Japanese football prior to this season. It is a very young squad, whose average age of the starters just 24 years of age. And you always have to have a look at Joru Shimafujita, precocious young talent, mixed up, of course, with the magic of Mitoma. She will be causing mayhem down the flanks. The signs are ominous for 2021. Despite all the records that they shattered last year, they have set another one at the start of the year over in Kawasaki Frontale. For the first time ever in the club's history, they have won their first 3 games at the start of the J1 League season. Hoping to make it 4 in a row. 15 goals that they've scored, including their Super Cup victory. 6 home wins in a row leading up to this match. And perhaps only overconfidence and taking an eye off because of the nature of their opponents today, you feel, might deny them their 3 points. So Tokushima Vortis, they're not going to see a lot of the ball, but they need to be brave when they're in possession. They need all the unity, strength and resilience at the back line and to play as a team in order to overcome this fixture. And who knows, it will set a tone for what might be a year where they might maintain their status in the top tier of Japanese football. Hatate trying to roll into space for Leandro, located his spots. Taniguchi comes in with a header before Kakita could get anywhere close to the ball. It's an opportunity now to break out for Watai. He swings it all the way to the banks for Fujiwara. That's the kind of football that their coach, at least their assistant coach Komoto, was talking about earlier on in an interview when he says that they need to be a lot braver on the ball. They can't be giving away possession just like that cheaply. Yanaga, Tanaka, it's a poor touch by Tanaka.
Anenggalin!
It's very much a hallmark of Kawasaki Frontale's football, and so we don't see a lot.
Arena ay manuwatag basket.
It's not just kind of football that they dazzle you with and mesmerize their opponents with. It's also how quickly they win the ball back whenever they lose it. Tanaka won it back 2 seconds after losing that. In that instance, Naisei Suzuki making his first start. Nobody Very tentative touch from him in the opening 2 minutes of this game. Ken Iwao just lofting it up in the air. It's a wind that's headed in the direction of Forte's goal. Kawasaki Frontale playing downwind in this first half. Here is Tanaka. Yanaga, just inside to Tanaka. He's managing to get away from it. Couldn't put it inside though for Yanaga as Fouquet comes across to cover. Yamane. Tanaka just losing possession of the ball. They put it into space, but they've covered it so very well. Kawasaki. First, they just close the gap on you to make it impossible for that pass out, and then they close any sort of gaps for the second ball. Hatate, Schmidt available for the pass inside, but they go all the way back to Taniguchi. Jessiel. Chance to look up for the Brazilian side by side with him. Those two dovetailed each other quite superbly last year. Taniguchi and Jessiel. Two of those players, of course, in the J-League best 11, of which they have 9 players, another record which they set last year. It's an amazing year indeed for Kawasaki Frontale. 4 of their players were in double digits last year. 18 different scorers for Kawasaki. But having said that, Tokushima Vortis won their first title last year in J2. They themselves had 15 different scorers as well in their squad. They won the title on goal difference. Leandro Damiao, cute touch to Tanaka, finds Yanaga. Damiao's gone sprinting inside the penalty box, hoping for a delivery from Yanaga. Tries to put the ball inside. It's well watched in the end by Fujita. Tanaka didn't agree with the assistant referee who flagged it almost very quickly the moment contact was made. That's a very good work, you have to say, as well, from Fujita, protecting his defence with all the jealousy in the world. He knew that there was a 2-on-1 situation then, and Yanaga almost closing in with a pass and cut back inside for Tanaka, so in he came with that challenge. Kami Fukumoto is letting the one hang up in the air. With taking it a little further back, Iwao to throw it back to his fellow defender, of which Suzuki gently hits it back to his goalkeeper. Kami Fukumoto, who was the Gold Glove winner last year in J2. 18 clean sheets in all in 39 matches for him last year.
Oh, exercise pre. Di makalabas sa room eh.
Keeper which is hung up in the air. As Will's going to be playing tricks on these players. 5 minutes gone in Tokushima Vortis, you have to say, have done well enough just to shut up shop a little bit and ensure that there aren't a lot of channels open to these Kawasaki Frontale attacks, which can be frightening and come at you at pace whenever they decide to move to a different beat altogether. At the moment, just a little flat from the home side. Jessiel. Tanaka has come short to ask, receives Schmidt. Yamane. Got the off-the-ball movement by Wakizaka, and he finds Yanaga, exchange the 1-2 with him. Yanaga skipping away from the challenge of Fujiwara rather easily. Has to go all the way back to Jessiel though. Close it down in the organisation so far from Tokushima, you'd have to say, very well done. It's been very compact. Only seen Mito untouch the ball only once, and that was a layoff for a pass to Hatate. Who's come from his left full-back position to get involved here. Yamane hits the one up in the air, all the way back to Mito. Oh, he snatched at it, but that's the danger for Tokushima Vortis. They do lure you, Kawasaki Frontale, into those spaces and drag everyone from the central defence out. Leave it open for Mitoma, who will stay outside as long as possible. Very unlike him to actually snatch that shot. Didn't catch it pure. Schmidt certainly might galvanize these Kawasaki players into stringing more passes together. move the ball around, which they do at such a leisurely pace sometimes. I always say at the Todoroki Stadium, football is the most tired proponent. At the end of the day, these Kawasaki players just make it look so easy. Mitoma once again in front, looking for the run. A lovely 1-2 work there between Tanaka, Mitoma, and then Leandro just inside of Mitoma. Those two combining to a real treat. Leandro's shot was on target, goalkeeper spilled. Wakizaka though was always far away from it. Couldn't really gamble because the line was high enough, but and coming from Moto, having to make his first save of the match already. Fuke. The ball bounced, and yet again they win it back so high up and so quickly. Yanaga and Wakizaka combining to escape the clutches of Fuke. Wakizaka, just a heavy touch. Nothing they're doing is Fujiwara could only knock down ball throw. Toro Niki, this is 140th J-League match of which he's got 87 wins. It's an amazing record.